To those of you out there using a CPAP machine, a continuous positive air rate pressured machine or device, you have probably been searching if that device can potentially lead to more problems with your ears. How could this be? Several of you have reached out and have told me that several other professionals are trying to help you treat sleep apnea, provided you a CPAP machine, and now you're experiencing problems with your ears. It could be clicking sounds, it could be like muffling sounds, it could be just hearing the buzzing, ringing, and you're wondering, how is this possible? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why that's possible, because there is something called Eustachian Tube Dysfunction. And if a lot of you that are not new here, you've been through my channel and you've seen that I've covered a lot of videos about Eustachian Tube Dysfunction. But what is it exactly? Basically, think of a tube that connects your middle ear to your throat, and its one purpose and main purpose is to regulate pressure. And what is the CPAP machine doing? It's sending the pressurized air to help you regulate your breathing so that way you can get through a good night's rest. And because you're trying to be treated of sleep apnea, this machine is needed. But what if this machine is giving you more problems with your ears? And it's possible. I'll be linking several studies in the description of how this could be and back up some of the truths that a lot of you are experiencing, and you're telling professionals, and some of them are writing you off and saying this is not really going to happen. This is probably not the case. Some key reasons of why your ears are just not doing well, you're not feeling well. One of those reasons is pressure. Pressure changes and incorrect pressure balance. Now, when you're using the CPAP, it's applying that pressurized air. And when you already have issues going on with your ears, or let's just say you're new to the CPAP and trying to treat sleep apnea and you have no history of Eustachian tube dysfunction or ear problems, because of the already set pressure that's in there in your middle ear, when you do the CPAP, it's changing the pressure very frequently. So it can either be too high or too low. And our ear tubes, our auditory tubes or Eustachian tubes are very particular about pressure, and so it's very easy to throw that off, and once you do, it's a whirlwind after that. It's hard to balance that ear pressure. Sometimes you wake up, you feel worse because of many reasons. It could be barometric pressure changes, allergy changes, seasonal changes, and that's why a lot of you are struggling right now. And it's one of those scenarios where it's hard to get over this condition because it really requires to dial up that pressure perfectly so that way all those symptoms slowly fade away. So that's one of the reasons, pressure. Pressure is very important. I'm going to spend a lot more time in the next videos to come talking about how to regulate that pressure. The delicate thing here is a lot of you are experiencing too much pressure and you think, oh, okay, I need to lower it. But it can also throw off your ears if you have very little pressure. And that's why it is this very challenging situation when it comes to ETD. And I just really want to spend a lot of time trying to focus on how can we make that right. Because obviously the main goal here is for a lot of you is to treat sleep apnea, and you have to continue with doctor's orders. But at the same time, you don't want to acquire new ones. So try to adjust those settings, see if that will help a little bit. The other thing is the mask fitting. It could be throwing that off a little bit too. Now, I'm no professional with CPAP machines by no means, but it's all simply just trying to troubleshoot. It could be something as simple as just adjusting the fitting, because if the fitting is not right, it's going to cause more pressure buildup. And anytime you're trying to get rid of ETD or problems of the ear, you definitely want to make sure that pressure's equalized. Now, again, I can't stress enough. So get in touch with your doctor, whoever's handling your care or treating you for sleep apnea. Let them know, hey, I suspect maybe the mask isn't fitting me just right. Can we take another look at it? And hopefully that minimizes some of the pressure that you're feeling, and that should reduce a lot of the symptoms that you're facing. So another suggestion I would like to add is add a heated humidifier to your regimen. So right before you go to bed, I would say about 30 to 40 minutes before you go to sleep, go ahead and turn on your heated humidifier, get the air a little bit more moist. That's going to help keep your nasal passages moist. It's going to help reduce the pressure This should help really tone down what you're feeling until you can correct some other areas that may be throwing things off with using your CPAP. But again, you do want to stay in touch with whoever's handling your care, whoever is the main contact for helping you treat sleep apnea. You want to let them know this is what I would like to do and see if I can try to do that. That should really help reduce a lot of the pressure that you feel. I always tell everybody when it comes to treating Eustachian tube dysfunction, there are two key things that could be going wrong. There's a lot of things that could be going wrong, but two key things that could be going wrong. The pressure that I stated earlier and inadequate blood flow to the inner ear. So if you have inadequate blood flow for various reasons, it can cause a lot of the problems of the function of that tube to go haywire. And so we want to be sure to make sure through stimulation, keeping your posture good. This is going to help with getting good blood flow or maintaining good blood flow to that ear. Posture, stimulation to the ear, staying on top of those things, a good diet, because you want to stay good and clean. You want to eat clean. You want to stay eating leafy green vegetables. That's going to help good blood flow. So all these things encompass how to get rid of this condition. And unfortunately, everybody walks a different path on their healing when it comes to this condition. It's not just one thing. You have to really take the individual's whole entire lifestyle and literally identify everything that that person does. So that's why it's very hard if you're watching this video and you're like, I need to figure out exactly how to get rid of it. I'm going to lay everything out on the table for you. But the real true side of it is it's going to take some work. It's going to take some identifiable reasons of why this is doing that, why this is doing that. But that's a good start. Remember, check the pressure, check the mask fitting. You want to make sure to adjust the settings. You want to add some moisture to the air. These are simple things that can really make big differences. And my last suggestion for those of you out there using a CPAP machine, there's something called an Inspire device, which is an upper airway stimulation device. It is a medical implant designed to treat obstructive sleep apnea. The device works by stimulating the hypoglossal nerve, which controls the movement of the tongue to prevent the tongue and the soft palate from collapsing and blocking the airway during sleep. While the primary purpose of the Inspire device is to treat OSA or obstructive sleep apnea, a lot of individuals have reported that because of their Eustachian tube dysfunction problems in using the CPAP, this was a better alternative. But of course, you want to stay in touch with your doctor, because I definitely don't want to be here saying that this will cure that or this will cure this. My job is to simply bring the information out to you, and hopefully that makes a better outcome of what you've been going through. I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content as often as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jaye Wellness Studio and leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you in the next video.